Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Merlene if you're new here, and this is a place where I share copywriting and marketing secrets and strategies that you can use in your business to increase your impact and have more sales in your business. Okay, so today's video is going to be a little bit different because I am not talking about necessarily copywriting or marketing, but I'm going to be talking about business strategies and the 5 things / 6 things you should do in your business kind of in the beginning phases when you're first getting started. And these are things that I learned from kind of, doing as I went and had an understanding of like, wow, these things really helped me set myself up for success when I started my business. So if you're curious about what those are, stick around for the rest of this video. Okay guys, so I'm super happy you decided to stick around. I know that starting a business can be very daunting, especially when you don't know anyone like in your immediate circle who's starting their own business or has their own business. It kind of seems like this elusive, like everyone seems to have their own business, but I personally don't know anyone who actually has their own business, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna be sharing some of the things I learned along my journey to my copywriting business, Curly Copy, and ways you can kind of learn what I've learned from or kind of steal what I did in the process so you can have better results than I did, Okay, so let's dive right into it. So the first thing you definitely should do, get your financial house in order. But when you're starting a new business, it's important to prioritize what's important to you because you could be working another job, you could be, managing a family, all of these things you have on your plate. So it's important that you really get an understanding of how seriously you're going to take this. And if you say, okay, I'm going to save 50 grand by the end of the year to quit my full-time job and start my side hustle full-time and make it a full-blown, full-scale business that's gonna be my main source of income, then you need to get serious about your finances. And ways you can do this is looking at what debt you currently have and what can be paid off. I kind of gained this inspiration from listening to a lot of Dave Ramsey, and while I might not agree with everything he says, I think his philosophy around money is amazing. Like the less debt, the better. Pay it off as soon as you can, as fast as you can. I'll share a little bit of my personal story. I had student loan debt because I paid for college for myself. I had financial loans, I took out the money, and I paid it off after graduating college. And that's with making no payments during my time in college. So I had, over 20 grand of student loan debt, and I was able to pay that off within a year and a half of graduating, year and a half of graduating. So the way I did that is old-fashioned style of saving money. So think about your expenses, what you need, what you don't need. And when your nose really hits the pavement, when you're focused on what you want to do and you have an end goal in mind, then everything else becomes easier. So I was determined to pay off my student loans because one, I didn't want this debt looming over my head, or I didn't want to be tied to someone financially, and I don't want them to come after me for this payment. And it's easy to defer or make the minimum payments, but the faster you can kind of get that debt taken care of, the faster you can focus on investing yourself and your money into things that matter to you, like your business or, whatever that is. So I would say the first thing you should do is analyze your debt and pay it off as quickly as you can. And it's not necessarily just saving. You can invest it into mutual funds, so you're not just, having money just to have money. You can make it kind of work harder for you. But of course, I'm not a financial consultant, so check with someone who's an expert in this field to really get an understanding of what best suits your situation. But this is kind of my experience and what I did. Okay, so once you have your debt taken care of, your financial house in order, the next thing you want to do is kind of an extension of that is once you've already started your business, I guess number 2 should be start immediately. Even though you don't have a clientele, you might not have an idea of what you want to do, you might not have a website. Start telling people you're a blank. I'm a copywriter. Tell everyone you're a copywriter. If you own a nail salon, tell everyone you own a nail salon. If you own a plant shop, tell everyone and their mother you own a plant shop. Promote yourself like it's going out of business because no one else is going to promote yourself for you, and so you need to promote yourself and start before you're ready. So before you have a website, start telling people, okay, I do this, and then immediately get up a website, which is the third thing you should do is build a website. You can use a free one from Wix. I built my website using Wix, and it's templates, drag and drop. It's super easy, and get that up because people like to look at websites. They don't just want an Instagram, and a website kind of builds your credibility from there as well. Okay, so again, to recap what we covered so far, financial house needs to be in order, or should be in order. 2, tell people about your business. Start before you're ready. Start telling people what you do, how you do it. 3, get a website up. Use something simple like Wix. It doesn't have to be Wix, but that's what I've used. It's kind of drag and drop. It's super easy. And 4, sorry, I'm looking down my list so I don't forget anything, is register your business with the government, look like an LLC, and go to the IRS to get an EIN once you eventually start making money. I did this very early in my business, so I had it out of the way, and it was, all my boxes were checked, and I didn't want the IRS coming after me because, of course, after you make a certain amount of money in your business, then you need to start paying taxes, and of course, that varies based on where you live and things like that. So make sure you consult with a tax professional about, what type of registration will be best for your business, when you need to start paying taxes, when's the best time to get your EIN. Once you have those things in order, you want to open a bank account. So I know it's easy to kind of open a business bank account, and you probably have like Chases or, PNCs near you. So I would personally open it in a credit union, and at first at least, because there's no monthly payments. But the caveat to that is, think about how you're going to be processing your payments. I'm a service provider as a copywriter, so a lot of the time I use some sort of payment app like PayPal or Square or Gusto or Zelle, what have you. So think about how the two of those can connect when you are opening your bank account, because I kind of learned this the hard way starting out, that if you use a credit union to open your bank account, not all of those kind of payment service options will be compatible with your credit union. So what that means is I have like a local credit union here for my account, and I found out that Zelle was not compatible with my credit union. So I was like, I have to pay these fees with like a PayPal to hook it up to my bank account. So if you don't want to necessarily pay fees, you might want to consider, your cost benefit of having an account at like a Chase or something like that, one of those big branch banks, because of the implications of how much you would spend in transaction fees by not having Zelle or something like that. So that's something to think about when you open your bank account and start thinking of how you're going to accept payments. Last thing you definitely want to consider when you're opening your new business is join groups. So when I first started out, I joined a bunch of Facebook groups. Literally, I searched copywriter, blank, all of the gamut combination you can think of. I searched it in Facebook to join that Facebook group if there was anything applicable. Because it's important, like I said earlier, just to tell people you're out there and make yourself visible. So by joining these Facebook groups, you can not only make yourself visible and talk about your business, but then you also have an avenue to people who might be your potential clientele or potential customers. And in the process, you can, tell them what you do. You can learn a bit more about them and build those relationships in the process. So that's something you can think about as well, is how can you kind of market yourself in those groups and build relationships at the same time, because they're super valuable. I got a bunch of clients starting out from those groups and still do to this day. So make sure you kind of do your research about which groups will be best to join based on your business. Okay, I know that was a lot of tips and a lot of things to remember, so I'm gonna run through them again. And I'm gonna look at my list so I don't forget anything. So the first thing was get your financial house in order. So that is pay off debt, establish a savings goal, whatever you need to do to set yourself up for success when you're starting your business. The second thing was tell everybody and their mother that you're starting your business or you have a business, because we promote other businesses all the time. So start promoting yourself, because you're worth it, you deserve it, and your business will thank you for it. The third thing you want to do is create a website once you kind of decide that, okay, I'm going to take this seriously. So create a website. You definitely need a website. Just an Instagram is not enough. I think a website really paints the picture of your business and the feel for it, and you don't have to hire some $10,000 website designer to design your website. You can use something like Wix to get that up and running when you're first starting. Okay, the next thing you want to do is open a separate account for your money at something like a credit union or a Chase, depending on your preferences. So that's after you get your website up, that's important to do. And I guess before you do that, make sure you register your business with the government. So whether that's, an LLC, an EIN, depending on where you live, and consult with a tax professional about which option is best for you. As I'm not a professional, so don't take me at face value. Understand what's best for your business and take it from there. And again, join groups and tell everyone and their mother that you are starting a business, because you should, and it's a great way to build connections and find potential clients in those groups on Facebook. And the last thing you should do is start. Go ahead, get going with your bad self. Start making sales, start telling people what you do. Just put yourself out there. Someone has to be your first client. I know it's gonna be super scary, whether you're a service provider or a product-based company. Just start before you're ready and put yourself out there, whether that's making YouTube videos or talking to people online. So if you have any questions about my journey, or want to run something past me about your business, I'm more than happy to help. Until next time, thanks for watching. See you guys.